One thing I've learned from being in prison firsthand is that it doesn't work. When you're released, you go back to where you come from, back to the same crowds as before, and back into the cycle. It's only a matter of time before you re-offend and you're back in the same jail cell that you come from. There's very little help for people doing 3 to 6 month sentences. We just get released, the same people we were when we went in. You go in for stealing a Ford and leave knowing how to steal a Porsche.
I was arrested first when I was 16, and then over 2 years the convictions mounted up. When I was 18, I was arrested for robbery. I was sent to prison for 3 months. When I came out, I haven't changed. I didn't care about anything or anyone. I just continued doing what I was doing before I went inside. Prison doesn't change you. I did a robbery one day and was caught. I was sentenced to 2 years plus the time I didn't serve for the first sentence as I was out on license. So I actually served 13 months altogether.
I went to prison 3 times altogether. The first time that I was released, I was out for just 4 weeks. The second time, I only lasted 3 weeks.
I started committing crime when I was 17 to pay for my drugs. And I was arrested and remanded, but was released. The trouble was, I was with the same people, in the same place, and continued with drugs and crime. I was doing burglaries to keep me going with heroin. I was arrested and then sent to prison for 15 months. I was 18 at the time. When I got out of prison, I went back home. I didn't care about anything. I got my own place, but still I had the same friends. I got back into drugs. As soon as I was back into drugs, I got into crime.
When I was inside the last time, I decided I couldn't go on like that. I wanted to have a career using my talent for art. I wanted to be a tattoo artist with my own shop. I knew I needed somewhere where I could go and get help. I needed to sort myself out. If I just went back to London, I'd be homeless, still getting into trouble. I was given an Amber leaflet by the housing officer in prison, and I read all about it. It seemed to be the ideal place for me. Anna from Amber visited me in prison and told me all about it. I really wanted to go there. When I got out in November, I went to Amber. It's great, it's like a family, and I have the time to think about how I'm going to achieve what I wanted, without the pressure to have to do everything at once. Everyone's supportive. Everyone learns to care about people, and no one turns their back on you if you make a mistake. And I could get fit again.
A few years ago, my mum stood in the court and asked the judge to send me to prison to try and sort me out. Now she was writing to the judge to ask for a real chance to stop reoffending, and writing to her MP and asking Amber for help. I read about Amber and felt that it was a real opportunity to sort all this mess out and be my break to success. The judge asked for someone from Amber to come to the court to explain about the work that they do and to convince them that he should not sentence me to 3 years. They did come to court, and the judge must have liked what he heard, because he was sending me to Amber rather than prison. But this was my one and only chance, and if I messed up, I was facing 3 years behind bars.
I've been there 4 weeks. I come straight from prison. 4 weeks ago, I didn't think I'd be standing there giving a talk.
When I was in for the 3rd time, I was put in touch with Amber by probation. When I was released, I went home to see my daughter for the weekend and then started at Amber. That was the best thing I've done in years. I've made new friends, been on a retail course and a first aid course, participating in activities and projects, and started to turn my life around for me and my daughter. Without Amber, I'd be back in prison by now, so I thank them for the opportunity they have given me.
The first day, I did not like it at all. It was not home. I didn't know anyone and I haven't seen my family. I found it very hard. The next day, I went out to the salt course, which was fun. Got to know some of the people there, and it didn't seem so bad after all. Now I think it's a great place. I'm doing fine and coping, having come off drugs. I feel good about myself for the first time for a long time. I want to get a trade. My dad was a plasterer, and I think I'd like to do that. If Amber hadn't been there, I would have gone back home when I got out, which would not be good. If I went back home, I would have got with the same friends back into drugs and crime. They said if I got into trouble again, I'll be facing between 5 to 9 years in prison. My sister has visited me at Amber, and I'm still in touch with my dad. And I know if I go home and get in trouble, and I need to sort myself out. And I can't do that at home. I need Amber. Thank you for coming and for listening.